Had your breakfast?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How about everybody had breakfast? Delicious
Yes, sir.
breakfast.
Everybody had.
Nutritious, delicious breakfast.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hmm. Food gives energy, bodybuilding, energy yielding, and protection. Protection against infection. Okay. The main function of food is bodybuilding, energy yielding, and protection against infection. Right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Repeat what I said.
Body yielding,
Ah,
protection
energy.
against
Yeah. Loudly.
body building, protection against infection.
Protection against infection. Okay. It is all like mantras, right? Okay. So I welcome all of you to this lecture class. There are 9 chapters according to your syllabus. Once I have completed, okay. Now I wanted to take again chapter wise. Okay. Now I shall take up the first chapter, the concepts of food science. Okay. Am I here?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Audible? Yeah. Yes. Okay. The new chapter is new and first chapter is concepts of food science. Why these concepts of food science came into being? Okay. So there was no scientific way in using the food earlier. The modern science has given this concept. The basics is same. So to modern concept of food science, to know all these things, we are supposed to recollect our basic sciences, that is physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, and their applications, biochemistry, microbiology, food technology are necessary in order to prepare, package, store, and serve wholesome of highly quality food products. All foods are chemical compounds which undergo various chemical reactions at all stages from production to the consumption. Therefore, the reactions are based on the laws, LAWS, laws of chemistry. Many processes used while preparing food involve physical changes apart from chemical changes. Process used while preparing food involve physical changes from chemical changes. Matter existing in 3 states. One is physical, liquid, and gases. Some of the terminologies used in human nutrition. Food science. Food, whether it is solid or liquid, when it is taken into the body, which gives energy and helps in bodybuilding and protection, which is called food. The science of food is food science. Okay? See, very simple. Then staple food. Now I am talking to you some of the terminologies is frequently using in food science and nutrition. Okay? Staple food. What is staple food? The food when it is eaten regularly by the large section of the population poor section of the population in India. More than 50% of the people in India are poor, who are consuming regularly. That is called staple food. Rice, ragi, wheat are considered as staple food in India. In USA, even potato is a staple food. They are consuming regularly. Whereas in India, potato is a vegetable. Okay? Whatever it may be, food are regularly consuming by large section of the population is called staple food. Okay. Next, food intake. What is food intake? Taking food in a given length of time. Diet. Diet means the sum of meal, all meals consumed during 24 hours. What are the food that you have taken to your body in 24 hours? All this, sum, all this SUM sum, all meals taken in 24 hours is diet. Dietary habit. It is generally choices of our daily food becomes our dietary habit. Dietary habit. Okay. So balanced diet which meets all the nutritious and requirement of the body. When diet meets all the nutritional requirement of the body, it is called balanced diet. Recommended dietary allowance. The RDA refers to the amount of energy in terms of calorie or nutrients which will maintain a good state of nutrition in healthy people of all ages is called RDA. Food preservation, you cannot consume all the foods and you cannot grow foods in all the seasons. So some of the foods which cannot grown in some season can be kept for preservation. While keeping or storing foods, you have to follow some guidelines, whether it is preserved with chemicals, with controlled atmospheric conditions, all these things involved. That is called food preservation. Food technology, application of principles and food science in the preservation and processing, packaging, storage and transportation. All technologies used, that is called food technology. Processing, conversion from one form to another form, liquid to solid, solid to liquid. Example, cereal flour, tur dal, fruit, jam, all this into finished product or marketable commodity. That is called food processing. The nutrition and food safety is equally important. So food safety is basically food hygiene. Food safety is basically food hygiene. What is food hygiene? All the conditions and measures necessary to ensure the safety and suitability of the food at all stages of the food chain, from production, from land to till it reaches to the table. Okay, you have to maintain the hygienic condition, safety. Okay, measures necessary to ensure the safety and suitability of food at all stages of the food chain. What is safety? When food is intended to take as a breakfast, meal, dinner or lunch, when it is taken, it will not cause any deleterious effect, any ill effect. That is called safety. When it is taken into your body, which meets all the requirement and which suits you, which will not cause any damage, ill effect. That is called food suitability. In the food chain from production to consumption. That is food hygiene. So I told you what is safety, what is suitability. Quality assurance refers to the measures taken to make a product safe, assuring the quality of all stages. Take my food. Create the assurance. You should give assurance by the producer, which will not give any delay, which will not affect any of your health aspect. Okay, you have to build the confidence among the consumers. That is assurance. That is food quality assurance. Quality control is another term. We are frequently using. Quality control may be maintenance of quality at all level and tolerance acceptable to the buyer while minimizing the cost of vendor. It is nothing but a testing of the product for a quality. Testing of the product for a quality. Okay, that is called, if it is good or bad, it is quality control, accept or reject. Okay, that is quality control. Some of the measurements that we are come across in the food science: length, volume, weight, mass. What is length? What is volume? All these things you have studied in the elementary physics. Weight, mass, so temperature. What exactly temperature? Melting point of ice is 0 degree centigrade or 32 degree Fahrenheit. Boiling point is 100 degree centigrade or 212 degree Fahrenheit. 1 kg is equal to 10,000 milligram, and a measure of 1 ppm means 1 milligram in 1 kg of a substance, that is ppm. So all these things you have studied in previous years. Density, relative density, colloidal system, and phase change, liquid, gases, and solid phase. The relative density is equal to mass or weight of a substance divided by weight of equal volume of water. Okay, I told you when concept of food science, we need to understand some of the basic sciences and its application. pH is another important aspect. It is potential of hydrogen. When an acid is diluted with water, it dissociates into hydrogen ions and acid radical ions. The term pH, hydrogen ion concentration, is used to express the degree of acidity or alkalinity of a food. It is defined as a negative logarithm to the base of 10 of the hydrogen ion concentration. It higher the hydrogen ion concentration, lower will be the pH, vice versa. The types of colloidal system, that is sol, what is emulsion, foam, aerosol. What is SOL? Sol is a colloidal suspension with solid particles in a liquid. Emulsion is between the two liquids. Foam, FOAM, foam is formed when many gas particles are trapped in a liquid or solid. Aerosol is it contains small particles of liquid or solid dispersed in gas. I have given a table that is types of colloidal system and dispersion phase and continuous phase. You can observe the table in the literature that I have provided in the continuous phase, all in liquid phases. Some of the examples are given in the table. Buffers is another important item that we need to study. Buffers are solutions that can resist a change of pH on addition of acids or alkalis, but within the limits. These solutions are made up of a weak acid and one of its salts, or weak base and one of its salts. Application of pH, in the preparation of jam, jelly, squash, to testing the acidity level of the product. Osmosis, from higher concentration to lower concentration. Application of osmosis in the food industry is important role in the food processing and preservation to retain the original shape and size of canned fruits in syrup and of vegetables and pickles. The freshness of fruits and vegetables depends on the osmotic pressure in the cells. Salads lose their crisp, crunchy texture and become limp if salt and sugar is sprinkled much in advance. Lettuce, lettuce leaves can be reviewed by immersing them in chilled water. Surface tension is another term that need to be understood. Is a force experienced on the surface of a liquid. It is caused by cohesion, that is force that causes the molecules of a substance to be attracted to one another. Then application of the surface tension in food industry in release of agents help prevent the paper lining the tin from sticking to the cake. They contain silicon compounds. Silicones have a property of lowering the surface tension and is added to wood polishes to allow the polish to spread easily. Okay, all these things. And another is evaporation. Suppose if you keep the bread and cake outside the uncovered places, it becomes hard and stale because of it lost moisture. This can be prevented by storing food in covered tins. Cooking in shallow uncovered pans will cause greater evaporation and are used for preparing kova from milk. Milk powder is prepared by dehydration or spray drying, in which water from milk is removed by circulating air. Through the application of evaporation process, the milk powder can be prepared with the spray drying. Then boiling point is another important one. To get boiling the vegetables in salted water, increasing the boiling point above 100 degrees centigrade. In sugar cookery, the boiling point of sugar solution is noted at various stages so that fondant, fudge, toffee and caramel can be prepared. Melting point is another important application of melting point in food industry. Ice as a melting point at 0 degrees centigrade. If adequate sodium chloride is added to ice, the melting point falls to 18 degrees centigrade. This lowering of melting point is used in the setting of ice cream. So fat is removed from adipose tissue of animals by a process called rendering. 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 Then, which is based on the melting point. Boiling water or dry heat is used to liberate the oil from the fat cells. Humidity. Humidity can be applied. Application of humidity in food industry is spoilage organism multiply and spores germinate. A big moisture levels in the atmosphere. Processed foods are prevented from drying up by adding substances with hygroscopic properties called humectants. HUMECTANTS. Glycerin, sorbitol are used as a humectant in jam, in the preparation of jam. Water activity is another important aspects. Water activity represents the ratio of water vapor pressure of the food to the water vapor pressure to pure water. Under the same conditions, it is expressed as a fraction. It is expressed is equal to AW is equal to P by, then this, you go through this formula. The water activity of foods, fresh meat and fish is 0.99 water activity. The water activity of bread is 0.95. Jams and jelly, all these things, okay? Instant coffee is 0.2. You go through the table. Okay? All these applications are very, very important. Okay? The second chapter is food composition, classification, functions, and food sources. The second chapter is food composition, classification, functions, and sources. Carbohydrate. Okay? Food composition. I told you the composition, any food article which composed by number 1, carbohydrate, number 2, fats, number 3, proteins. Okay, these 3 are called proximate principles. The minerals and vitamins are called minor elements. The water, and another is water. Water is not a nutrient, but it helps in the metabolism, digestion, and maintain body temperature. Okay, it is not a nutrient, but it is play a very vital role. That is another point. The nutrients are here carbohydrate, fats, proteins. These 3 are called proximate principles or major nutrients. Another 2, vitamins and minerals, is protective force. When proximate principles taken into the body, these vitamins and minerals plays an important role in digestion and assimilation and absorption of the nutrients in the body. This is playing a vital role. That is vital amines, vitamins, minerals. Okay. So the classification of carbohydrates you have studied in elementary schools itself: monosaccharides, disaccharides, polysaccharides. Glucose, fructose, galactose are monosaccharides. Maltose, sucrose, lactose are in disaccharides. Polysaccharides are starches, glycogen, cellulose are polysaccharides. Okay. What is the functions of the carbohydrate? The primary functions of the carbohydrates in the body to supply energy. Each gram of carbohydrate gives you 4 kilocalories. Carbohydrate acts as a reserve energy supply in the form of glycogen stored in the muscle and liver. Almost all nutrients are stored in the liver. The total amount of glycogen in the body is over 300 grams. Carbohydrates combines with nitrogen to synthesize non-essential amino acids. Lactose present in the milk sugar provides galactose needed for brain development. It aids absorption of calcium and phosphorus, thus helping bone growth and maintenance. Lactose forms a lactic acid in the intestinal tract due to the action of the bacteria, that is lactobacilli. The presence of lactose promotes growth of lactobacilli. These lactobacilli synthesize some of the B complex vitamins. Carbohydrates are important part of some of the compounds, mucopolysaccharides, which increases the resistance to infection. Ribose is another sugar, 5-carbon sugar, is an essential part of DNA and RNA. Dietary fiber helps in the smoothing of the movement of the food waste through the digestive tract, and the soft, bulky stools are comfortable elimination of waste. That is also carbohydrate. Then, food sources of carbohydrates. What are the cellulose, hemicellulose, pectin, gums and mucilages, starches and dextrins, glycogen? This is polysaccharide. Disaccharide, sucrose, lactose, maltose. Main food sources: cane sugar, molasses, milk and milk products, lactose, maltose from malt products, some breakfast cereals. Monosaccharides are glucose in fruits in digestible form. So glucose is the most common monosaccharide. Glucose is the most common monosaccharide, is present in honey, fruit, corn syrup. After absorption of food, it is transported through blood and hence the present in blood as an easily available source of energy. Sucrose, another monosaccharide, is present in molasses, honey, fruit and vegetables. Sucrose is hydrolyzed to a mixture of equal amounts of glucose and fructose by action of digestive enzymes. When boiled with acid mixture of glucose and fructose is called invert sugar. Maltose, lactose, starches. Starch is found in cereal grains, legumes and tubers. Glycogen is found in meat, seafood. These are called digestible polysaccharides. Indigestible polysaccharides are cellulose and hemicellulose, pectins, gum, mucilages, and all these things. Okay. The carbohydrate content in foods: sugar and jaggery 85 to 90%, and wheat, flour, and millets constitute 69 to 72%. Legumes and pulses 58 to 60%. Roots and tubers contains 22 to 38%. Remaining roots and tubers contains more quantity of water, that is moisture percentage is more. Okay. In nuts and oilseeds 12 to 27%. In meat and poultry 0.5. In fats and oils 0. In fruits and in other vegetables 7 to 13%. You can go through these things. Important reactions in carbohydrate, that is browning reaction. Browning is common among color change seen in food during pre-preparation, processing, or storage of food. It occurs in varying degrees in some food materials. The colors produced range from cream or pale yellow to dark brown or black, depending on the food item and the extent of reaction. So browning reactions may be desirable or may not be desirable or undesirable. In some foods, the brown color and flavor developed during browning is highly desirable and is associated with delicious, highly acceptable and quality product. Browning reactions contribute to the aroma, flavor and color of the product, such as the brown crust and bread or brown crust of bread. Brown crust of bread, it is advantageous. And all baked other processed foods. So controlled browning is necessary even in foods for where browning is desirable, because excessive browning can produce an undesirable product, change in odor, flavor, so which may be bitter, making the food unacceptable. So keeping these things in mind, we must know the enzymatic, some of browning. What is browning? Browning because of enzymatic browning, non-enzymatic browning. What is non-enzymatic browning? Maillard reactions. The person who involved in discovery of the browning or he understood the concept of browning and he who is Maillard. Therefore, he is called Maillard reactions. Now, Maillard reaction, caramelization, liquid browning, ascorbic acid browning. So, enzymatic browning and non-enzymatic browning. Enzymatic browning is some enzymes are involved in changing the color of fresh fruits and vegetables to the dark when exposed to the air is the result of the presence of oxidative enzymes. Enzymes browning occurs in these fruits and vegetables is common. So caramelization, when sugar or sucrose is heated above the melting point, it undergoes a physical change to produce caramel. This happens more readily without water. However, syrups will be caramelized with rapid heating. This process is used extensively in the production of confectionery, chocolates, preparing sweets. Overheating will cause the substances to become bitter and dark. Gelatinization is another concept. When starch is mixed with the water and heated, the starch granules swell and eventually rupture absorbing liquid, which thickness the mixture. Temperature 60 to 88 degrees centigrade. Starch, a complex carbohydrate, has powerful thickening properties. When starch is combined with water or another liquid and heated, individual starch granules absorb. So the concept, how it is going to be gelatinization is simple. Retrogradation is gelatinization of starch. Prevention of enzymatic browning by inactivating enzymes by application of heat. If it is undesirable, you have to prevent this reaction, enzymatic reaction. How you are going to inactivating the enzyme? By application of heat, by addition of salt, lowering the pH and chilling a food below the temperature of optimum for enzyme activity, by avoiding contact with oxygen, coating fruit with sugar, immersing vegetables in water, vacuum packaging, by elimination of substrate, sulfuring of fruits prior to dehydration. All these things can be applied in order to inactivate the enzymes if it is undesirable. If it is desirable, let it be continued. So non-enzymatic browning is called Maillard reaction. In this process, condensation of amino acids of protein, carbohydrate group plus carbohydrate group sugar, various reactions such as rearrangements, fragmentation, polymerization, all these things leads to browning pigment. Okay, this is non-enzymatic. In the chapter, carbohydrate chapter, dietary fiber is very important item. It is not, which will not give nutrition, any nutrition, but is indirectly helping in evacuation of the bowels. It absorbs the moisture, smoothens the bowel, and evacuating the waste. In that way, dietary fiber is very, very important. One should take minimum 25 to 30 grams of dietary fiber per day. It is RDA, recommended dietary allowance. There are so many benefits and functions of dietary fiber. With the dietary fiber, stimulate the peristaltic movement of the GIT tract, adding bulk to the intestinal contents. Presence of dietary fiber slows down the carbohydrate absorption, which helps to regulate the blood sugar and lower the insulin need of diabetes. Soluble fiber, again, solubility depends upon the solubility of the fiber. We are considering soluble dietary fiber, insoluble dietary fiber. It is the, again, it depends upon the polysaccharide present. Polysaccharide, it's a complex polysaccharides present in the food. Then limitations of this fiber. Fiber binds the minerals such as calcium, iron, zinc, etc. And how much fiber is required is fiber should fiber intake can be 45 grams per day per person. With this, I will stop here. In the next class, I will take proteins. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
See you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Okay. Someday we will see next class.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.